Hey guys, this is what Deku had Kurama, part 8. Now we're gonna start this. Yeah, let's start. It's time. Mario comes through the wall, and Izuku sees little thunder around him. He says, "Trash, right?" Izuku gets scared, and then he gets out for going through the wall. Again, Izuku says, "Is he acting crazy?" He goes there only just to see Mario there. He knows that that's the same person. When they get in the fight, Kirishima goes instead of Izuku, throws a punch. But from this, Mario goes through him, decides to throw another punch, but this time to the stomach. But he gets it to his, but he screams out, 8% vocally, and says, "Detroit, smash this," and flings Kirishima into a middle. He says, "So who's next?" Then he goes around and punches multiple kids. Izuku tries to throw a punch, and his Kirishima won. But he goes through it and gets his hands. Izuku closes his eye, only knowing that it went through his head. Mario's ready to throw a punch to Izuku's gut. But with no time, Izuku gets to KCM and since he knows that this punch is gonna work, he gets a Rasengan into Mario, and this means Mario flinging to a wall, and just knowing that this kid is really good. He tells him to get out the stadium so then they can have a one-on-one fight. They're ready, but Izuku immediately gets into his kurama mode and gets into a full kurama. Learn the news that, okay, since this is a one-on-one fight, I guess he is going as hard as he can. He's ready, and he gets into not only 1,000,000%, but Infinity 100 like Izuku does in the anime against overall. They attack each other with all of their force, and they have an even fight. But Izuku knows that that Mario's leaving something out. So he gets into his sage mode and he tells Mario to show him all of his power. Mario accepts the deal, and he gets into a Detroit smash. He does a Detroit smash at Izuku, but only a Kurama sage mode Izuku to group punch 2, with both of their punches colliding. But from this, his Kurama mode does feel some damage, and Mario learns that his arm is broken. He knows that this kid is really strong. They go into a 1-for-1 fight, but this is too much for the other students, so they evacuate the building. And while they're fighting, they decide to go somewhere else. For the fight, all the students are looking, and Izuku is fighting Mario. Mario does multiple Detroit smash, but Izuku keeps blocking them from all of these multiple. Mario keeps breaking his arms, but Mario will not give up from this fight. So falling down, he goes to 1,000,000 punches, and he throws all of it at Izuku. Izuku's Kurama mode takes all of it, only for one full Detroit smash to hit him in the face to get him out of his Kurama mode and smash him to the ground. Mario thinks he won against the kid until he learns that it poofs away, only just to see another Kurama mode and learning that Azuka could do a clone. He knows that this is weird as he can't have two quirks unless he thinks someone passed it down to him. Mary decides to fight again and go through Izuku's moves. It tries to defeat him with normal punches. But Izuku gets out of his kurama sage mode and there's still fighting. But since Mario knows that he can't defeat Izuku, he decides to do a super Delaware towards Smash. And then after that, Izuku knows what he's gonna do. So Izuku does a Naruto Beast Bomb. He swallows it and he's ready to throw everything that he has until Izuku's quirk stops. And then after that, Miro quirk stops. And only just to see strings around him, saving them. And then that's when Mr. Aizawa says, hey, we don't want to make more causes than villains could do. You know that, right? They both laugh and Izuku says, okay, Muriel, I'll talk to you later. With him going, Muriel laughs till he says, okay, I want another fight. But this time the next time we'll see who's the real one. And he goes to the nurse with Mr. Aizawa saying that was reckless for you to just break your arms like that. And it was also reckless. Maybe if you did use that move, there will be no arm left for you. Doing this, he goes to the nurse's office and gets healed from his injuries that he did to himself. And he says, wow, the kid is strong. I can't believe it. He actually made me break my arms. I know that the quirk could hurt my arms, but I didn't know that it could break it itself. So just seeing that is just impressive. Mr. Aizawa goes back into UA and he's ready with Izuku. Izuku goes to Mario's room and he says, can I please go to your leader? Please. I really have to do this. Mario says yes. But then Bakugo touches him and he says, actually, come on, I want to go too. Please, I want to go, and I'm not going to stop me from going. So come on, Mario says yes to this, and he brings both of them this way. They both meet Night-Eye, and they're both confused. Night-Eye says if Izuku could throw a punch at him. Mario says for Izuku to only just go in KCM1. Don't go in KCM2, because we don't really want to break this building. Night-Eye looks into the future, and he starts going. Izuku fights Night-Eye, and he can't touch him yet, but he is matching Night-Eye's speed, so that is impressive for Night-Eye to SMS. He just started and he's old and he's still almost catching up to him. But before he could finish that sentence in his head, Izuku gets in front of him and ready to throw a punch. Night-Eye actually dodges this and decides to throw a punch at Izuku and goes back and throws another punch. And then another one and keeps punching Izuku. That's when Izuku learns that Night-Eye can't let go of him and that he has to learn how to get out of him. Izuku decides to blow up his fist and punch Knight on it from knowing where he's gonna be next. After this, Naruto says that the fight has stopped. Him and Mario go patrolling down the city, only to see a girl running from an alleyway. He runs. She sees Izuku. She says, "Please help me." Only just seeing Overall standing there and looking at her, saying, "Hi. Sorry, isn't my kids too much these days? Like, how hard could they be?" Zuko again says, "What are you doing to the kid?" They walk, again she goes. Exact same thing happens. They also learn about Overall being the mastermind, but so they're ready to go on the mission. Until another day, a Toby comes. Zuko's dad is talking to Zuko's mom and telling him that he'll be there on his way. But before anything, he gets grabbed by Izuku grabbed by Toby, and Toby says, "You're not gonna get anywhere," taking his fox away from him and leaving him on the ground. They go to the nurse's office, only for Izuku to see this. Izuku tells Mario that he's gonna try to help his dad or something. He goes and he sees him dead. He tries to kill him, and his dad lives, and he tells Izuku that, "Wow, you really are my son, Izuku." They leave, and his dad tells him that he'll be going with him. Before this, Mario goes through the walls and is ready to fight Overall. He says that he won't be holding nothing back. He goes directly into 100% and does multiple attacks at Overall, and Overall knows that he has to get ready. But before he could handle it, he sees a 1,000,000% when Million attack him and smashes him through the wall, and he says, "Well, that was easy." Zuko comes in only knowing that 1,000,000 already did it. And Zuko gets glad until he hears an explosion. Before this, he sees a white mask Obito. Takes off his mask, only seeing a Kakashi. Knowing that that is Obito, he says, "What? Obito, is that really you?" Just says that, "Yes, it is really me. But there's not that much to say next. I just have to finish this fight now. And I know exactly the way. Only summoning a two-tails with Madara on it." Madara disappears after this. And he says, "Hey, do whatever you want. As long as I come back with you alive." He leaves. But at the first thing, Obito decides to absorb all of the chakra of the Ten-Tails, making him the Ten-Tails Jinchuriki, but also unstable. He's ready to fight everybody. But everybody is frightened. No matter what, Bakugo decides to throw an explosion at him. but only knowing that it didn't do nothing. And gets attacked and gets hit by Obito and gets flinged away. And Obito just looks at Naruto and he says, not Naruto, no, Izuku, and he says, well, now it's time for your chakra. He goes to try to take his chakra, but before anything, Naruto gets to do his KCM2 and decides to throw a punch at Obito. But Obito doesn't feel nothing. He decides to trick him with multiple rectangular shurikens and a fireball jutsu and flings them all out Obito. And he does a huge explosion. But Obito just walks out of it and he says, so was that really what you could do? I expected more. But this gets Izuku frightened. He's confused. What just happened? Everybody either has side effects from that one. And Obito looks at Izuku and he says, I'm your fear, boy. So if you try anything else, there's nothing you can do. Later, from this, you're all frightened. But Izuku knows that he has to blow. If he wants to win, he has to do something. He has to do what any other hero would do. He tells everybody to stay still and get their hands out. Everybody's confused. But as he goes to each other's hands, he does multiple shadow clones. And he goes to everybody's hands. They learn that they are even stronger. That he gave him some of the Naruto's chakra, each having a one tail. Even Bakugo gets it. He shows it to everybody. 1,000,000, everyone. Everyone gets a piece of it in there. And they feel something even stronger. Everyone gets it. Obito's confused. He's ready to attack, but then his unstable breaks him. But again, Obito thinks of a picture, and he decides to try to piece the picture together. And later, he even stays like that, and he now is stable. They get ready. Each person is attacking. Obito decides to say that he's just gonna take everybody's chakra. They all attack him, and Bakugo throws an explosion. But before that, Izuku throws a punch, and Izuku dad smiles, and he just says, "Wow, I can't believe it. My son is so strong." They throw multiple attacks, and Izuku and his dad does a Rasengan at him. But Obito is still ready, as he's ready to finish the job. He sees something big coming right towards him, and it squishes him. Only just seeing a Toad and Jiraiya looking at Obito in sage mode. And he says, well, I guess you should have banished me off somewhere farther. Obito gets out there and he says, yeah, I should have. But before anything, Jiraiya goes in and he throws an attack at Obito. But Obito takes it before Izuku comes in and punches Obito with a lot of power, and also seeing Killer Bee coming in too. Everybody coming. They feel like they're gonna win, even though Obito figures out that he's taking damage. but until they think that they won with all of their moves combining. He goes to hug his dad until you realize something in his back. Izuku closes his eyes and falls to the ground. Only just seeing that his chakra got taken away from him. And Obito just says, "Thank you." Everybody's there, everybody's confused. Everybody knows that Izuku can't take this. Immediately, Bakugo tells him how can he give Izuku back his chakra. He gives him the signal, and they're all ready to do it. But before anything, Obito comes out and smashes it, and he says, "Nobody's seen me." And before anything, he sees something in his back, like it's just something bad in his back. Until seeing it pulled off and seeing Izuku's dad behind him, taking the ninth, half of the nine toes back, and he puts it in Izuku again, and Izuku lives, and he comes back mad, and he says, "You should have never did that. Now I'm gonna defeat you." And Izuku also says that you have something that I need. He gets into his full kurama mode and attacks him. But before anything, they throw one attack, Izuku with a punch, and Obito with a destiny ball, or whatever it's called, and he attacks him, and they both get ended. But only Izuku wrapping his tail on Obito's, and later Obito learns that something's wrong. He's learning that his chakra, it's getting taken away. Everything. He tells everybody to get on one of his tails and pull with all their might. Everybody gets into there. Later, only knowing a person with sand coming around him. Izuku's afraid who that was, and he tells one of the people just to let one Tails be with him. Also, Killer Bee takes Eight Tails and says, "Come on, Eight Tails, we have stuff to do." With all them pulling, but no matter what, they're both weak. They can't do it until Bakugo jumps into where Izuku is, and he tells him, and he says, "Can you put your arms behind your back like if you're riding like Sonic, please?" Izuku does it, and Bakugo puts his hand on Izuku and tells him to pretend like if he had his quirk. No matter what, it took multiple explosions that big, making Izuku go faster. Or later, Obito learning that his chakra's getting pulled out of his body. Obito keeps trying to go through there, but he can't do it, and he keeps trying to, but later, he learns that it's his consciousness. He's confused only to seeing Izuku. Izuku uses a talk no jutsu with all the other people behind him. And without a doubt, Obito touches Izuku's hand, and they do it. Obito turns older and he says, "I'm sorry, Kakashi. I'm sorry." He's ready. But that's until Madara comes in and he makes Obito bring him back to life. And with all of that, Madara gets brought back to life. And then he brings Black Zetsu to take Obito's eye. Black Zetsu is ready. But then after that, everybody's ready to attack Black Zetsu. But without a doubt, Black Zetsu gets Obito in control. Madara says that we'll be bringing back only just to absorb the Ten-Tails' power. And later becomes the next Jinchuriki. He later traps him. He later tries to get Obito back. But before anything, Izuku's ready to go. Madara just says, Black Zetsu, just let's come, we'll get him later. Black Zetsu gets out of Obito and goes to Madara. Izuku gets out his Kurama Sage mode and gets Obito. And all learning that he's saving everybody. That this is actually a thing that he's doing. Gets out of there. Without any doubt, Obito learns that he's alive. And Izuku says, just don't do that again. Izuku also says that actually now he has all of the power of the Nine Tails. He tells Obito to come, and now Obito and other teacher, and only just still has a running gun. And later, Mario goes to Eri. And that's where we're leaving off. Bye guys.